You didn't sound too excited.
Yeah, Tristan sounds amazing.
And that's the way I like to hear it. All right, let me post this real quick. Cool.
Bring your mic up.
Bring your mic down.
How's my mic? Is my mic fine?
Bring yours a little bit more up too.
Bring
Up.
your mic a little closer.
This part right here.
So just pull it up.
What if you shut your mouth?
And angle the mic a little bit.
What if
you
you shut
Thank you,
your
thank you, thank you.
mouth?
Tristan,
What? I'm testing the mic.
I don't care.
Be respectful, Tristan.
All right. Round 14,000. Are we ready?
Yes, you've been good.
All right. Fuck. Take 18. So, Diego
What's up?
Rivera,
Yes.
right?
That's me.
Let's go, bro. So, 18th time we're trying to record this. Hopefully we've got it knocked down, ready to go.
I think we got this time.
Yes.
We got it this time.
So, where are you from?
I was born and raised here in Illinois.
Yes.
Grew up in Cicero until the age of about 7. Cicero house was my entire family, immediate family.
Yeah.
My grandparents, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, both, and my biological father as well. Just before my grandparents sold the house, my parents split. So that was when I was like 6 or 7. I was like 6 or 7, probably like what, 2005-ish, 2006-ish. No, it was a lot earlier, 2004, 2005. But nonetheless, they split. My grandparents sold the house that we were in, and my mom wanted me to take me out of the environment that Cicero was.
Yeah.
At the time, Cicero was very ghetto. It wasn't the best place to really grow up in and raise your child, and I guess my mom saw that at an early age. So she moved me out over here to the burbs. We started off in LaGrange. Was in a house at LaGrange. I started at this school. I think it was, 7th Avenue. 7th Avenue was a school. It was a grade school. Started there at 3 years old. What I'm saying, I'm sorry, the 3rd grade, and went up until about middle school, and then we moved again. We moved around the same area, though. It was Brookfield, not too far. I was like maybe 10, 15 minutes away from our original house. Stayed in the same school district, still had the same friends, so it wasn't really much moving or adjusting for me. More so from my mom, and what my stepdad was now at the time and still is now. So, sorry, I'm going a little too far.
No, you're good.
Backtrack. So, parents split. We moved. I know we're on Adversity Kings, right? I've been thinking a lot about it, the word adversity. I know our first take, we talked about adversity is really subjective to the person.
Yes.
So, it's whatever adversity is to you. Now, I am very blessed to have my mom in my life and have her be almost kind of like my best friend, honestly. She wants the best for me, obviously, because she's my mother, but she goes that extra mile that not everybody has, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed to have that. And with that being said, I don't think I've gone through much adversity personally, first person, because of my mother, because I feel like she would take that adversity for me.
Yeah.
So I see it secondhand from my mom, and I feel like that's how I've gotten it, and that's how I've really learned what adversity is.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my parents split. My mother took it kind of hard at first, and then of course there's guys, not many guys. She didn't introduce me like all these guys and whatnot, but there's one guy before my stepdad that I remember, some guy from New York. I forgot his name, but I just know that when my mother and him broke up, she was devastated because I feel like that might have almost been somebody that could have been my stepfather.
Yeah.
And, I don't know all the details because it could have been that far. It couldn't have been that far. But anyways, she was devastated, and at that point, I kind of realized like, you shouldn't really need somebody in your life to make you happy.
No.
If you have your family to make you happy, because I was a young kid, I was a little boy, right?
Yeah.
Trying to comfort my mom, telling her it's gonna be okay. It's just to me and you, like always.
Yeah.
And that's our quote now. We actually have it printed out with a picture of
I love
Rose, just you and me, like always.
Mhm.
So moved out to LaGrange, Brookfield. Now they're in Willow Springs. My stepfather came into play, I want to say around 7 years old. So shortly after we had moved out of Cicero, but we were still in LaGrange for a while.
Mhm.
He came into play, super cool guy at first. And, he's a cool guy in general. But over the years, we had our rocky relationships. But now we're I think, closer than we've ever have been.
Yeah.
And I'm really, again, blessed to have a good relationship now with both my father, my stepfather, and my mother, right? Because not everybody has that.
No.
But going back to moving around. Went to Lyons Township High School. That's going to be in Willow Springs, and went there all 4 years, but I moved within it as well. So we moved from Brookfield to Willow Springs at the end of my high school career, and my parents bought a property, and they bought like a house instead of renting out an apartment. It was a big change for them, and actually for us too. And then shortly after that, I graduated and went to college. But backtracking a little bit, in high school, there was a lot of things in high school. I was very active person in high school. I very big into sports. I was in a leadership club called National Hispanic Institute that really, I think, groomed me to be who I really am right now, and being able to kind of speak out in front of people. It was like leadership clubs, so they had different things throughout the years of freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, whatever it may be. And it really molds you to kind of not be afraid to speak your voice, right? And be okay speaking in front of a big crowd almost, or basically. The first trip is a debate. It's a great debate, they call it.
Yeah.
Where just a bunch of high schools come from different areas around Illinois, and they have a great debate with different types of versions of debatings. So that's the first step. And then the last step is like collegiate World Series, is what they call it. They prepare you for college. They prepare you for the interviews. They prepare you for your resumes and like for life, essentially. So I feel like I owe NHI a lot. I don't really talk with anybody from NHI or am involved as much as I think I would want to be in the future, just because I do owe them a lot for how I come out to be. And not only that, a big part of how I came out to be was wrestling as well. I was in wrestling for about 4 to 5 years. Started off in 7th grade, actually. Went into wrestling my junior year, and I quit my junior year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this now brings into my head, I got hit with adversity my junior year. And nothing crazy, more so just me not wanting to go to fucking practice.
Yeah.
Practice was 2-3 hours after school, every single day after school. And then the tournaments, you were waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to make it to the bus. It's an all-day tournament. My family was involved with it too. My mom was my number one support. Like, she was there. She woke me up early, right?
Yeah.
She was made sure that I was there on time, made sure that I was right. So wrestling really taught me discipline, taught me patience, and hard work really pays off. And in my junior year, I remember it was like yesterday. It was the beginning of the season, and it was like our second practice. And I was thinking to myself, do I really want to do this? And mind you, this is the first year that I'm actually going to start wrestling varsity. So I was JV1 all of freshman freshman team, of course, I was freshman. My sophomore year, I was JV1. My junior year, I was going to go be bumped up to varsity. And with the varsity wrestlers, they're like at the end of all of the JV1s and B teams and A teams.
Yeah.
And they have just one match, and a big-ass spotlight.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm ready. I almost wrestled a couple times my sophomore year for varsity to take place of the 106 wrestler that was there, but it never happened, so it's all good. But they wanted me to cut my junior year from my natural weight. I think it was like 112, 113 down to 106 for every match.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it because I was already cutting as it was my freshman year. I was natural weight maybe 109, 110, and I was still wrestling at 106. So I didn't mind the cutting it, although it was very hard to cut, and it was very hard to watch where you eat to make sure you're not going overweight.
Yeah.
That part I learned how to kind of deal with and kind of really take in and make it my own. Eat little snacks here, drink water, be active before your matches so you can actually sweat your water weight out or whatever the case may be. The part that I guess in the moment I didn't like was, like I said, the practices, the time that you had to invest in, the weekends, the early mornings, just the grind in the moment. And in the moment I didn't know it was the grind.
Yeah.
So look back at it now, I really regret quitting wrestling my junior year because when I noticed when I quit, I lost some of the things I've gained from wrestling, that discipline, that motivation, that drive to be better, to be the best I can in what I'm doing. And then my senior year went through, I was more kind of just coasting through. I kind of stopped. I was still in NHI, but I mean, I wasn't as involved as I was at first. I wasn't really doing many sports. I did gymnastics my freshman year. I did wrestling my freshman year. I did soccer my freshman summer. I was doing all these things my freshman year. And over the high school career, I guess the fire almost dwindled down a little bit. And my senior year, I was confused. I didn't really know what to do. I knew college was around the corner. My parents were really big on, you're going to college. And at the time, college was more prominent than it is now, right?
Yeah.
6 years ago, 7 years ago, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And all I did know was that I wanted to either be a businessman or something like a nurse, like in medical field. I shadowed my cousin that's a nurse at Rush one day, and let's just say it wasn't for me.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, you know what, businessman it is.
Yeah.
So I went to college for business management. Backtrack a little bit. Another adversity story. My baby sister, was born the day after I graduated high school.
Wow.
And my mom still made it to my high school graduation.
Wow.
She was not gonna miss that. She just wasn't. It was so funny. It's just a story that I will always remember, because not only was my mom there, but my baby sister was there to see me. Well, not see me, but there at my high school graduation. So just something I hold close to my heart.
Yeah, women are incredible.
My mom, man, she's the strongest person I know.
Yeah,
in both mind and body and soul, honestly. And she's obviously had her faults, and she's been able to overcome them, overcome those barriers, do what she has to do to improve. And right now, I think it's the happiest I've ever seen her. She's
That's
actively working out. We have Peloton bike, Peloton treadmill, and a bench at the house.
Yeah.
Like, they have their whole gym. My mom and I are actually going to do the March 5K, the Shamrock 5K this month.
Yeah.
She runs every single day. She works out every single day. She's in it. She's in the grind. And she's a paralegal for AT&T. So she has a busy job. She works from home, thank God, so she can balance.
Do it all.
Working out, working, and also watching over my baby sister, right? So she's one of the strongest people I know, and I really admire her and look up to her and kind of want to be like her, but I know she wants me to be better than she ever was.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing that kind of motivates me to be that great person. Another thing that motivates me now is that I'm trying to take people kind of under my wing, try to mentor people.
Yeah.
Because not only will that give out the vibes and the energy that I'm trying to give out to those that are younger than me, but it'll also help me be on point for myself.
Yes.
Because the more I repeat it to them people, the more I have it in my mind, the more I think about it. And not only that, I can also think about different things that I can do to improve myself, and also give over to those that I'm trying to mentor, whether it be my little cousins, whether it be somebody that I met through my life that I want to pick up because I really believe I see myself in them and I see the potential in them, or kind of like at work. So I'm in hotels right now. I'm a front office manager at a hotel. My team, both AM, PM, mid shifts, everybody on my team, I see so much potential in my team. I really do. So I really want to try to take them under my wing and try to develop them, even though I might not look that much older than more than half my team. There's a lot of team members that may be older than me, and there's a lot of team members that may be younger than me. And another thing with that is I try to keep my age kind of secret, because age shouldn't really matter. I'm one of the managers at the front office, and I've gotten there because of my experience and who I am, right?
Yeah.
So I know what I'm doing, and I know that I can help these people. And I'm not saying that I'm better than them in any way, shape, or form, because there's definitely ways that they're better than me, right? And I can learn from them, and they can learn from me. So it's just this, we're all learning together, and that's not even what I want to hold in work-wise, but outside of work. I want to be able to help everybody improve their lives, meanwhile improving my own life. And at first, very active on my social media a lot more recently than I have been before in the past. And I'm doing it at first because it was mainly for myself, right? Mainly for me to track my process and my progress of what I'm going to become at the end of the 5 years. Because I can look back at these videos, I can look back at these points in my life that really mean something to me and be like, oh, I remember why I posted this video specifically. And that's what my thought process to it is. What I'm realizing is I may be a shining light in somebody's dark life.
Yes.
And I'm not even noticing it.
Yeah, that's so true.
And a couple of people have already hit me up saying that.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me. So not only am I doing this for myself, but I am doing this to get that energy out there. Whether or not people want to listen, I don't really care. But if you do want to listen, you will get that energy from me. And I will give you the time if you want to reach out to me to talk about anything you want to talk about. I might not be the expert in what you're trying to talk about, but I have experiences in my own life that can maybe have you look at what you're going through in a different perspective.
Yeah.
So going back to high school, my mom was there with my baby sister. Baby sister was born next day. After high school, I knew I wanted to go to Northeastern Illinois University. One of the counselors in my high school, Mr. Sanchez, he really kind of motivated me to be great in college and to go to college and do what I have to do to get my degree. Now, mind you, like I said, my parents are very big on college, wanted me to go to college 4 years and done, and just get it done, get it through, get your degree, and then you can do what you want. Like I said, didn't know what I wanted, and nowadays college isn't as prominent as it was beforehand. And I'm not saying that I don't regret going to college, because I did learn a lot of things, not even just in general, but about myself too. So my first year of college was not the best. I went from a household that was very strict, had rules, had regulations, and I see why, because they wanted to make sure that I was morphed into somebody that can see why there should be rules and should be regulations and limits set to some certain extent, right? Because there shouldn't be limits set to your whole life, but there's also things in your life that you have to make sure you know what you have to exactly do, make sure you plan it out, and make sure you delegate it in a way. Anyways, going to college, I dormed my first year. It was first year they ever had the brand new dorms. We were the first people in there, first people using the beds, first people using anything in that building.
Oh, that's so gross to think about.
Gross?
Yeah, wait, so...
Wait, no.
I know you were first, but I'm saying in regard to... I didn't realize college dorms and beds are reused.
Yeah, I think they are.
No, 1,000% they are.
Yeah, right? I mean, they wouldn't...
I imagine they bring their own mattresses or something.
Yeah, so matter of fact, I'm glad I was the first one, because I didn't even think about that. If
Yeah,
I wouldn't be the first
disgusting.
one, that would actually be kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were the first ones there. And I feel like the first year of people kind of screwed it up for the future years.
Oh my God, absolutely. Kids
The
are
rules
disgusting.
and regulations, like I said, they just weren't there,
Yeah.
right? Because it was brand new. They had unqualified people running it, essentially.
Yeah.
If I go back now, everybody's different.
Yeah.
I don't recognize anybody's faces. But my first year was very rocky, very, very rocky. I went from a strict household to being free and doing whatever the hell I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. I had a car too at that, and I literally could do what I want as long as I made sure I go to class. I get good grades. I'm still working, getting paid. That's all my mom wanted to make sure was I was doing the work and then having fun afterwards. And my whole thing was, I got this. I'm not gonna party on the weekdays. I'm gonna make sure I have everything done before I go out. And I got there and I had all this freedom and I didn't know how to control it. So I changed as a person almost. Looking back at my first year of college, I don't see who I was before and I don't see who I am now.
Yeah.
I see somebody that's completely different that I don't ever want to be again. I mean, little things like being free enough to get ear piercings, being free enough to get tattoos, doing what I want when I want without having to get the approval from my parents, because that's what I always have to get when I was at home. So first year, very rocky, and I was also going through some personal stuff as well. I didn't make the best decisions. I was in a relationship for a long time, and I messed up. I messed up a lot, and thankfully I was blessed for the girl at the time to still forgive me for some things, and we tried to make it work. And sometimes it just doesn't work. And not to say that it can't work in the future, but just right now it's not working, and it kind of hurts, honestly, because it's somebody you think you might marry. I'm not even gonna say you think you can, because who knows? Life is a never-ending game, like I always say, and there's always different chapters in your life, and there's always people that come and go, and people that may come back. So I'm not holding that to I'm never gonna marry this girl, because she goes on that list. She's the only one on the list of women that I would marry. Yeah, because she's different.
Shout out to her.
And shout out to her. Shout out to her, because she's very different. And everybody tells you, oh no, she's just like a regular girl. She, you know how people say and describe people. She's not that, and people don't realize that because they're not me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay. But I've accepted the fact that people don't realize that, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. Just right now, I'm so busy trying to improve myself to make sure I'm okay. And make sure that I'm doing what I have to do to be where I want to be and become who I want to become. Yeah. For example, I'm trying to build up this computer business. Me and my roommate started this computer business just before COVID. COVID hit, adversity hit us in the face, and we stopped. And And recently, we have been wanting to build that back up. We're going to go through a rebrand. We still got to get our money up, not our funny up first. So we do want to rebrand, but we got to make sure we have that monetary income to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So that's something that's taking a lot of my time right now. I'm getting big into my old hobbies. I used to be very big in musicals. I was in choir too in high school, so I was a very musically inclined person.
I got kicked out of choir.
You got kicked? Why? You couldn't hit those notes?
No, I was fighting people.
I believe that one.
I
believe that one.
People start singing, I start punching.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so big musically inclined. I learned guitar in middle school. I didn't really learn. I just knew how to play a couple chords.
Yeah.
I picked up piano by staying at my aunt's house for a week, entire week. They had a piano. They worked during the day, so I was just on that for that entire week, all day, every day of that week. And I kind of picked it up because I was already musically inclined at that.
Yeah.
So I lost those hobbies because I just stopped doing them. And I've recently started to get back into them. I made a song way back when in freshman year that I brought back, and I finally produced. Oh, I don't know about all that right now. You can find it though.
Starly's getting us a country singer or something. She
Really
said.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, her new boyfriend, his name's Ham Hock. He's a country singer.
Now, would you guys like country? There's the big debate.
I love country. She
love-
likes country.
Okay.
No, I
Yeah.
love country.
So-
He just
I
doesn't
grew
even know
up
half the
on a
songs.
farm. She grew up in a city.
And I did not grow up in a city. I grew
Yeah.
up in a ranch.
So
She grew
whatever
up
it
in a
is,
city.
one of you guys love country.
I do,
One
yeah.
of you guys likes country.
She
and I'm
likes it,
sorry, but
yeah.
I would listen to country.
You would?
I would,
So why don't you?
because
You don't like it.
I'm not saying I don't like it. Now, whoa.
Well, your body language is saying you don't like it.
You're right. It wouldn't be my preferred music, right?
I'm gonna
But
play it.
I'll
for
play
the,
it.
for the rest of the podcast.
Play it. No, I'll listen to it. That's the thing. That's another thing. You have to be open-minded to new things in life, right? Everybody has this, I guess, the stereotype behind country that country's terrible. Country is
Dude,
awful music.
You know they say you don't truly know the depth of love unless you know country music. So you could love this.
Who says that? Everybody?
God.
God.
No,
God says that. God, I was like, really interesting. No, but I mean, I don't discriminate against any type of musical platform or musical genre, honestly. Because, like I said, I'm a very musically inclined person. So anything that I can vibe to, that my head starts jumping to.
We're gonna put you on with the best country music ever. I swear, dude. Like this country music, like you. If you think you love your girl now, listen to this song. You love your girl way more.
Oh, I don't got the girl right now.
The girl the ex.
Oh, the ex.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that I got to start listening to country music,
Yeah,
and
if
I'm gonna
you-
fall back in love with my ex.
Yeah, or whatever feelings, they'll be magnified by this. Trust me, just listen to this song. Sorry, we don't even need that country singer. I'm sorry.
Now, I feel like I could rock some country. Honestly, I feel like I could sing some if I wanted to. But
This song's so far.
see, yeah, it does got a little kick in there, right?
This is so fire. You'll fall in love with any girl with this song. Talk about old man.
If you know me, I don't listen to country.
This is
That's
fire.
such a good. No, it's actually not bad. 100%. Like all jokes aside, it's not bad.
Yeah. Song's fire.
But yeah. So furthermore, though, we digress from country.
Yes.
Going back into my hobbies, right?
Yes.
Musically inclined, getting back into guitar, getting back into the piano, and now I picked up a recent one, which is videography, taking pictures and taking videos. I've always thought, I wouldn't say always. There was a good point in there's a good amount of time in my life where I wanted to become like a content creator almost, right? And I hate for myself for not pursuing that so earlier at the moment I wanted to, because I think I might pursue that now. And it might be a little side hobby that I do, not so much me investing my whole time into it, because I do have this Nasty Spirals PC business that I am trying to build. However, like I said, we are rebranding Nasty Spirals PC at Instagram.com. Wait, I didn't say that right.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, sorry, they don't know.
What's it? Nasty Spiral?
Sorry, yeah. Nasty Spiral PCs.
I think of that video game, Spyro.
That's funny because the whole story behind it is me and my roommate we're gonna start this company, right? Nasty is his gamer tag, and Spiral was my gamer tag.
Okay.
But I changed mine to Fuego because I go now by Diego.
Yeah.
I guess not my biological name. What is it? My name, my actual first name is Francisco.
Yes.
My middle name is Diego, but I go by Diego because everybody in my family calls me Diego. There was a big fight between my mom and my dad of what my first name is going to be.
Yeah.
My dad wanted me to be Francisco. My mom wanted me to be Diego.
Yeah.
My mom said, you know what? His first name can be Francisco, but everybody's going to call him Diego. And that's what it is. And at first, it was just like my classmates, my coworkers would call me Francisco, and just my family would call me Diego.
Okay.
But now I'm developing it to, I just want to be called Francisco at work. And
Yeah.
that's my work name. When I'm outside of work, I'm Diego. I'm different now because like I said recently, we talked about this last podcast. We talked about like when a man's mind breaks or shatters, and they really see who they are and how they can identify themselves, and they hit rock bottom, right?
Yes.
And how to get out of it. You can either choose to stay in there or to climb yourself out of rock bottom.
Yep.
And I think there was a point in time recently in the last year, I would say year and a half, to where I feel my mind was completely shattered. And I was in the dirt. I didn't want to do anything. I was depressed. I was sad. I had no motivation for anything. And I was working actually at a dentist's office because I took a break from hotels. I wanted to try something different. I wasn't in the right environment. Dentist's office was great. Don't get me wrong. I love them. They have great energy. They have great goals set in play. Dr. Izzy is the main owner for Flossing Company I think it's technically Garfield Ridge, but it's like right off Harlem and Archer. But I almost looked at him as a mentor for the time I was there because he was very, very, very adamant that his goals will come true. They were expanding the office. They have revenue goals. Obviously, any dentist office has goals, right? But
Yes.
I feel like Dr. Izzy took it to an extreme to the point where that's why he's successful. But nonetheless, my mind was shattered. And I just was at rock bottom for 6-7 months. 6-7 months, I just didn't want to do anything. I was locking myself in my room. I didn't even want to play video games. Video games was something I loved. I played every single day before my mind was shattered.
What was your favorite game?
I have a couple. My favorite by all time has to be Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yeah, fire.
Fire game. But Call of Duties in general are pretty good.
Multiplayer, zombies?
Anything. But I love zombies.
Yeah.
I love zombie multiplayer.
Black Ops 2 zombies was better.
That's what I'm saying. So that I love that for the zombies and the multiplayer.
But I think
'cause they're
Black
both
Ops
good.
multiplayer, I think, was better.
Black Ops multiplayer was good.
Because I think they had fire range and the original
They had fire
Nuketown.
range and
And then Black Ops 2 had the
the
future.
updated, the futuristic Nuketown,
Yeah.
I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a long time ago. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
Call of Duties in general, I was very big into Rainbow Six Siege. And more like first-person shooters. I want to get into like action role play, like
Do you like
God of
third
War.
person?
Third
Like
person.
Fortnite?
Fortnite. Yeah, you're right. I did play Fortnite for a good amount of time.
I never played it.
I stopped playing it because I don't know. It just got to a point where it's like if you didn't play it for a while, you couldn't just hop on and enjoy yourself.
Bro, the dude that does my media, he just hopped on for the first time in like a year, and he like won everything.
What?
Bro, I was telling this guy, he's on my podcast right now. He runs a computer company. His name's Diego.
What's going on, man?
He just followed you. He followed your business page, All Caps Media. But we were talking about video games, and I was telling him you just hopped on Fortnite just the other day and like went back to back. Was it 3 times or 2 times?
How? That's
It
crazy.
was definitely 3 times in a row.
3?
But he plays PC.
But was he in
I
bot lobbies?
introduced
Was
you.
he in bot lobbies though?
Were you in bot lobbies or what lobbies were you in?
Like most gangster lobbies.
All right.
I don't know
I'll
if
give,
they're
I'll give
gangster.
him the benefit
Wait,
of the doubt.
did I?
I think you did last.
Yeah, because I
Is
showed.
that your computer guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he showed.
yeah.
So he came out here. He set all this up. He does his team does all the editing and everything like that. Me and Starley we just kind of farm the content.
Oh.
But he had that crazy rig. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
seeing
we were
if you.
talking about it,
I was
yeah.
seeing how good you were at your computer skills.
Yeah, I mean,
He had the Threadripper with the.
Yeah, you had the Threadripper.
yeah, he can 1v1 whenever he's ready, bro.
Oh. Nah, you gotta pull me up in COD though. You gotta pull up in COD. I don't do Fortnite no more.
Do you play PC? He plays PC.
I play PC, yeah.
Alright.
Man, all I need is a sniper, man. You can use whatever gun you need.
Damn,
Like that. Yeah.
with the flavor.
Bro, my boy's gonna like 720 no scope destroy you.
Nah, bro. I'll only use me blade, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. We're doing knives only, huh?
I'll run him through there like the predator, bro.
Okay. We should link. That sounds fun, though. We should definitely 1v1. I'll hold you to that one.
Whenever, hit me up whenever you're all ready.
All right.
How about you come out here and we'll do a tournament?
Nope.
Oh, let me know. Send the info.
We'll put money on it.
Oh.
Place and time, brother. I smash. Always smash.
Fi-
Anytime, bro. Send location.
Second,
smash.
third place gets $5,000.
Send location. I smash, brother.
All right, well,
Did you just hang up on him?
yeah,
You're
because he hung up
funny.
on me earlier.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
had to get him back. You
Had to
get
smash him back.
Had to get him back.
So, video games, your hobbies, transitioning back into your
Yeah.
hobbies. Where we at now?
Video games, hobbies right now. Shattered Mind. Yeah. Now mine's stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I know we talked about strong mind, soft body versus or over hard body, soft mind.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to get. I have the strong mind, soft body now. Now I'm trying to get the strong mind, strong body.
yeah,
So now I'm trying to hit the gym, trying to be on my grind,
Yeah.
trying to take as many videos, pictures that I can to edit videos, just put myself out there. Also try to kind of motivate people and give that good energy, that good vibe that I want to give out to people. Be that shining light to many people as I can.
yeah,
But the priority is to hold this content and hold these videos and all these pictures for myself in the future so I can look back at it in 5
And
years
reflect.
and see and reflect at the process it took me to get to my goals.
Go into that. Go into your 5 or 10 year plan. What's that look
So
like?
I haven't thought about it a lot. It has been brought up in my mind more often since we had our first take of the podcast. My plan right now is I'm doing very good. I'm in the best financial position in my life at the property I'm at. And I feel like I'm the best position in general of my life that I've ever been in. Not only work-wise, but personal-wise. I feel the most motivated. I feel the most determined I've ever felt. And I know we talked about being a resolutioner the other time on the first podcast, where not so much a New Year's resolutioner, but just somebody that states that they want to change the world overnight, but stops the next day or stops when adversity hits them in the face. And I used to be that. I used to be a resolutioner. I used to want to change things overnight. I used to want to do things and be determined to do things, but then the next week it died down and I wouldn't, and I'd stop it and I'd drop it completely.
Yeah.
But this time I do feel like it's a lot different. Whether or not I find success in what I'm trying to do, I'm still going to do it because it's for me, because I know it's going to improve myself and who I am.
Yeah.
And it's going to morph me into what I want to become. So 5-year plan. Don't really have it all set down, but within the next 5 years, I want to build this computer business. Of course, alongside working at the property that I'm at. I want to work with the property I'm at as long as I can. If I do find success in there, I will grow as much as I can. If we do have to part ways, we'll have to part ways. But of course, that's not what I want, right? But next 5 years, grow this computer business, get a bunch of recognition online and like in Instagram, social medias for our new rebranded company. 5 years, I mean, man, if we can even get our own office in 5 years, that would be so dope.
A physical,
like
physical building.
physical building.
Yeah.
And we don't need anything big for it. And right now we're using our apartment, right?
Yeah.
Right now we're using our living room as our building space, as our taking picture space. But if we get enough revenue and are able to have enough set income by building computers for people, by flipping parts, by helping people with troubleshooting their systems, then we might be able to even open up maybe like a room like this.
Yeah.
To where we can have our parts laid out, we can have our workstations, and not only that, that's the business side, right? That's the actual business side of what we're gonna do. But on top of that, my hobbies, my video editing hobbies, my video making hobbies, I want to make content for the business. I want to put that out there, kind of like you do with AK, with Adversity Kings. I want to do that for our business.
Yes.
So then it gets the word out there, and we reach out to as many people as we can, right? And we make as many connections as we can. So that's one of my main goals for these next 5 years, is really building this business, working with my roommate to become great, to become who we can become and who we know to become. And we're rebranding, and I'll leak the name right now. The new name is going to be D.Hydro.
Okay. Why?
So we thought about it. We needed a reason for the name, right? The first name was Nasty Spiral PC. Nasty, my roommate's gamer tag. Spiral, my gamer tag. I changed mine to Fuego because I go by Diego now. and we needed to rebrand. So Dehydro, short for, we call it Dehydrated. Now, the night that we spoke about building this computer or building this company is a night that I was building a computer for a friend, right? He wasn't really big into computers, so I was showing him how to build it. And then the idea just kind of came in my head, and we just talked about it. And, you know, he's like, yeah, I'll learn as much as you know, and we'll learn together even more. And we got this. We'll build this up from the bottom, from scratch. Craziest night of my life, honestly, almost. So we were building. My roommate, his name is Henry. My roommate, Henry, he wasn't looking too good. Like, he was looking a little pale, but we were still building. And I also thought it was because we were dusting out this PC as well. So there was dust everywhere. So I just feel like he was taking too much dust in, and I don't know what it was, right? I don't know what it was, man. He looked pale. He looked pale as shit, right? So he was with his head. What? Don't laugh at me, man.
How?
Because
I'm thinking of like this computer. It's like, okay, how big is this computer that there's enough
Oh
dust?
no. We were building one, and then we were cleaning one out. But the one we were cleaning out was years old. So there's literally layers of dust.
Was it George Bush's computer? Like
Practically, might as well been.
Like,
Might as well been.
How big was his computer?
Because we weren't doing it very smart either, because we were inside of a small room with an air compressor and just shh.
Yeah.
So the dust was just everywhere.
Okay.
But I don't think it was that. Nonetheless, it wasn't looking too good. And he had his head down, and then.
So you guys are in the kitchen pantry cleaning out a big computer. There's dust everywhere.
Yeah. Dust everywhere. It's a mess, right? It's a mess. Computer parts everywhere.
Okay.
He took a break. He's having his head down. He's like, man, I'm not feeling good. I gotta use the bathroom. And he goes to the bathroom, and I go to the mini fridge and to grab us a drink, because he might be dehydrated or whatnot. So I'm in the fridge, right? I'm opening. I'm like, yo, Nasty, what do you want? And then all I hear is a big ass, like, that wasn't big, but like I swear, like the loudest bang I've ever heard, right? It's like, yo, Nasty, you good? And I peek over, like, he's not saying anything. So I kind of rush to the bathroom, and he's laying on the floor, kind of like, it's not spazzing out, but he's tense, right? He's not there. So my being the smart person I am, I decided to grab him by the arm and pick him up right away, when I should have just had him sit up.
Yeah.
Because then his blood rushed all the way up to his head, whatever the case may be. I'm not a freaking doctor. I don't know all the terminology or whatever happened, but I pick him up. I was like, yo, you good? What's going on? Like, what happens? Like, yeah, no, I'm good. He's like kind of unbalanced. I'm trying to walk him to the chair. And as I'm walking on the chair, he starts spazzing out in my arms.
Ugh.
And I have him in my arms. I start to feel his whole body weight, because he can't control his body weight. He's spazzing out. He's like having spasm attacks in a way. I have to lay him down. I was freaking the fuck out, man. I was like, this is my best friend. This is somebody that is not blood to me, but I see as my blood brother. Like, we literally come up with the story that we're half brothers because we look alike. Yeah. So I have him in my arms. He's spazzing out, and I just don't know what to do. So I just trying to talk to him, trying to get to him, so he can hear me. Hey, dude, it's okay. You know, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know, this might be scary. I got you. Don't worry about it. I don't know if he can hear me, but I'm trying to calm myself down at the same time too. So I just lay him down on his side. Spazzing out. He stops. He kind of just like, he's just there breathing. Luckily he was breathing, because if he wasn't breathing, I would have to call the ambulance or something. Yeah. He was breathing just because, like, all right, I just need a second. And then I was like, all right, cool. I'm here. I'm gonna get you some water here. Take some sips. Took him maybe 15 minutes to kind of get his energy back and come up. And then I'm just like, you're right. It's like, yeah, dude. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? And then he's like, I don't know, man. I just felt dizzy, and I started like trying to balance on the walls, and then I fell, and I was trying to come out to come grab you, and I fell backwards. But the scariest part about it was when I found him and I picked him up, or when I found him on laying on the ground, his head was right next to a pointy ass tile with the wall. So it was weird. So there was a wall here. It comes out and it goes back in and it goes back straight. So there's just this little pointy ass corner. With hard ass tile at the bottom. I'm surprised. I don't think he hit his head on that, because if he would have been bleeding. It would have been more catastrophic, because he would have broken his skull open or something. Yeah. So my first thing was to check the back of his head. He wasn't bleeding. Nothing was that bad. So he recuperated. We're just like, damn, dude, he almost died. He has very dark humor. So we laughed about it right after. Yeah. And of course, to keep the mood light, right? Because I'm like, yo, like, you almost died on me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, we were cool. We were just looking things up on what we should do next. Because way back when, one of my friends almost had a concussion, and they said that you had to stay up for a certain amount of time before you go to sleep. So we stayed up like all night, and then at like the end of the night, I looked up like the actual what we have to do, and there was a new study saying that you actually should sleep after because it helps your head heal.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Sleep
it
is
is.
so good for you.
Right. So I stuck a Snapchat at like 4:50 in the morning. He was sleeping. I was like, I'm up because of you. I can't fucking sleep, bro.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him, and I'm gonna keep that Snapchat till I can't anymore. Because that was one of the scariest nights of my life, and I think that moment kind of pushed us to really want to do this computer business. Because that moment we realized tomorrow's not fucking granted.
Yeah.
But like something as simple as being dehydrated can really be catastrophic depending on where you're at. So we were talking about the situation because we wanted to rebrand, we wanted a new name, and the word dehydrated came up, and he's like, dehydrated. I was like, I like that. I was like, me too, but it's kind of long. Dehydrated. It's like, but then it kind of works because I also wanted something with his initial and my initial because it's our company, right? Diego and Henry. Dehydrated. So we went through a bunch of different types of variations of dehydrated, and we ended up on D.hydro. And I think that's the one that we're going to stick with. Don't quote me on that yet. But I think it's the one we're going to stick with, D.hydro. It's a shortened version of dehydrated, and it's because Henry was dehydrated on the night that we wanted to start this computer building business, and he literally almost could have died on me. Granted, I might be blowing it out of proportion, but it's the facts. If his head was maybe 2 or 3 inches to the left, he probably would have broken his skull open, and he wouldn't have died. Probably wouldn't have been able to call the ambulance, got him recovered. But nonetheless, it's the intensity of the situation in the moment.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And I just will never forget that night. I will never forget that night.
Yeah.
And now that I have this new aura about me, I'm more motivated to do everything that I wanted to do, that being building D.hydro up.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my roommate to be more motivated as well to really get back into this and posting and flipping parts, building computers for people, helping troubleshoot things. Because we still have to learn things. Like, we're not extreme experts, obviously. We're more so versed on the hardware aspect of building computers and helping troubleshoot computers. The software aspect, we're learning a little more as the day goes by, or as the days go by. And we just want to be the best that we can.
Yes.
And that's really what it is. So next 5 years is really building up this company. Next 5 years is really working on myself. Next 5 years is really improving and just becoming great.
Let's go. Well, we're about an hour in. Is there anything else you want to cover?
Damn, that was an hour. That not really. I mean, I think that was about pretty much a bunch of things. One last thing I do want to say. Remember to always smile, because it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Let's go. I always smile. I never smile. But this was Diego Rivera. Where can people find you?
At Trifuego on Instagram and TikTok. I'm not much on TikTok yet. And then you can find Nasty Spiral PCs currently at Nasty Spirals PC on Instagram, but might become D.hydro very soon here. So stay tuned.
Let's go. Peace out. Thank you again for joining us, brother. Hopefully this
Thank
one
you.
takes. Let's go.